progress in Hawaii. So far, they've combed through 25% of the burned areas in Lahaina. ABC's Melissa Don reports the death toll now rising to 99 as the state's governor starts the search for answers about the cause and response after those flames erupted.
Today marks a week that a deadly wildfire ravaged this community in western Maui. Lahaina, once the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom, destroyed. Officials say about 86% of structures burned were homes. Dalia Keahi and her husband, Pastor Kawi Keahi, telling ABC's Gio Benitez how one left turn while evacuating may have saved their lives.
It's very sad.
Usually I'm hard-headed with my wife.
Lord, direct our steps. Yeah. Wow. And my husband turned left.
Turned left.
And I'm so thankful.
Thank you, Jesus.
The Maui County Police Chief sharing how they are working with FEMA to carefully comb through the burned areas.
I understand that people want numbers. It's not a numbers game. It's not just ash on your clothing when you take it off. It's our loved ones.
Governor Josh Green responding to why the island's emergency sirens were not activated, saying typically wildfire evacuation is given via text or TV, but those modes of communication were destroyed by the fires.
Typically, when sirens go off, they are because we're worried a large storm is going to come, and people historically would immediately go up country. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have warning signs. Of course we should. But it's a lot more complicated than that.
Hundreds are still unaccounted for. Officials urging survivors to provide DNA samples to help identify those who did not survive. Last night, a vigil was held for Joe Schilling. His family says he most likely died in the fire after remaining at his apartment with elderly residents unable to escape.
There isn't anybody in the family who knew Joe that would be surprised that he would put himself at risk to help somebody else.
Today, gusty winds are expected, and while they're not expected to be as strong as last week, it's bringing concern as the wildfires are not yet fully contained. Melissa Don, ABC News, Maui.
And severe storms in the southeast yesterday caused damage in parts of Tennessee. Up to 7 inches of rain fell in Monroe County overnight. The entire town of Tellico Plains had some form of flooding. Mayor Marilyn Parker says the water treatment plant was damaged and she's concerned about fresh water. It is not known how long it could take to get water service restored.
And another reminder, if you or anyone you know is having to brave this brutal heat without AC, Project is providing free box fans to those who need them. We have all the information at KSAT12 and you can scan the QR code on your screen. The United Way is teaming up with Bexar County to offer box fans to residents 60 and older. Again, they are available at no cost. Those eligible can call 211 to request a fan.
Back outside with live cam. I know there's a lot of warnings in different counties around the area about people welding and just working with tools outside that could cause sparks. So people have to really pay attention because it is getting really, really dry.
Yeah, the fire danger is highest this afternoon for us, especially because, you know, we have a north wind after a not so humid front moved through San Antonio. Take a look at temperatures across the state. Man, wouldn't you like to be in the Panhandle right now? 81 in Amarillo, 83 in Lubbock, even Abilene, 87 degrees in Abilene, 94 though right now here in San Antonio. This front, as it has moved through, has washed out. We're not seeing any of the benefits of cooler air, just some drier air working its way in. Although in Fredericksburg right now, it is still in the 80s, 89 in Fredericksburg. Where you can really see the effect of the front is in the humidity. Dew points a lot less up in the hill country, a lot drier out near Kerrville, Rock Springs, Fredericksburg. Even in San Antonio, we're seeing our dew points fall as a result of afternoon mixing and that not so humid front moving through. So for the remainder of the day, just expect heat, 103 around 4. It's after 4 p.m. that we have a very small 10% chance for a stray downpour, mainly south of San Antonio. Meteorologist Adam Cassidy will be keeping track of the radar this evening at 5 and 6 p.m. But then tonight, once the sun sets, it's really not going to, or starts to set, it's really not going to be all that bad. Around 8:15, the sun will set and it'll be in the low 90s, definitely still warm, but with low humidity, a bit of a breeze from the east-northeast, not all that bad in San Antonio. Hey, coming up, we're going to talk about the aquifer. The aquifer is very close to being at its lowest numbers since 1990, 33 years ago. I'll have those details coming up in just a bit. David, Tiffany.
Thank you. The woman who helped hide U.S. soldier Vanessa Guillen's body will be behind bars for a long time. Cicely Aguilar was sentenced to spend the next 30 years in prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says she pleaded guilty in November to 1 count of accessory to murder after the fact and 3 counts of making a false statement. Federal and state officials say Aguilar helped her 20-year-old boyfriend, Army Specialist Aaron Robinson, dismember and dispose of Guillen's body near Fort Cavazos in Guillen. The 2020 killing led to changes in how women in the military can report sexual abuse.
At least 13 bodies have been found in freezers in 2 different buildings in the city of Poza Rica in Mexico's Veracruz state. That's according to a statement from Attorney General of the state of Veracruz. The statement says 6 suspects have been detained. An investigation into the incident has begun, and Mexico's General Directorate of Expert Services carried out field and crime lab tests to find the suspects.
Hunter Biden's lead criminal defense attorney wants off the case. In his request to withdraw, Christopher Clark told a federal judge he could now be called as a witness in future proceedings, since the plea agreement will likely be contested. Last week, federal prosecutors said they reached an impasse on the plea deal related to tax offenses and a gun possession charge. And the Biden administration is asking the Supreme Court to take up multiple cases involving state laws that restrict social media companies' moderation of their own platforms. The White House argues the laws violate the First Amendment rights of companies such as Meta and Twitter. The U.S. government's brief adds pressure on the court to rule on whether states can force tech platforms to host content they would otherwise remove under their terms of service. If the court agrees to hear the cases involving laws passed by Texas and Florida, the outcome could reshape what Americans nationwide can see on digital social platforms.
Toyota has issued a voluntary recall for certain 2022 and 2023 Tundra and Tundra hybrid trucks. It's the company's largest recall this year, covering 168,000 vehicles in the U.S. The vehicles have a plastic fuel tube, which could rub against a brake line and develop a fuel leak. Toyota says such a leak could possibly cause a fire, quote, in the presence of an ignition source, end quote. The Japanese car maker will replace the tube for free when it has the parts available. For now, Toyota dealers will install protective materials and a clamp on the fuel tube for free. The company will notify owners of affected vehicles by early October. Owners can go to toyota.com/recall for more information. Americans opened their wallets more in July. The Commerce Department reported Tuesday retail sales rose 0.7% last month from June. That was a much faster pace than June's 0.3% gain. It was also above economists' expectations of a 0.4% increase. The figures reflect continued resilience from U.S. consumers in the face of higher interest rates and still high inflation.
While the weather is just hot, it is still quiet right now, but severe weather has been known to hit South Texas. In fact, one of the deadliest struck just 2 hours southeast of San Antonio. A look back at the impact of that storm.
San Antonio and South Texas do not sit in Tornado Alley, but that doesn't mean we are immune to tornadoes. Every spring, the risk is there.
And while it might not make sense geographically, it turns out that South Central Texas has seen some of the deadliest tornadoes in Texas history. One of the deadliest struck just 2 hours southeast of San Antonio.
Justin Horn went to Goliad for a look back at the deadly 1902 tornado.
It was a cloudy, sleepy Sunday in historic Goliad, Texas, May 18th, 1902.
Before church, they could see the clouds building in the southeast. And about 3 o'clock, it hit.
There was no warning. It moved quickly and was measured to be 1/8 of a mile wide.
Fannin Street Methodist Church was still having their church service.
It was flattened, killing most inside.
There was no hospital. That afternoon and that night, after it passed on, they started gathering up the dead and taking to the courthouse, and that became the morgue here.
Chaos ensued in a bustling farming town that had a population of more than 1,000 at the time.
This is one of the last relics from the 1902 tornado. It's a piece of steel that came from a bridge that was about a mile away from here. The tornado implanted it so far in the ground that it's never been able to be removed, and it's still here more than 120 years later.
The bridge from where that steel came was destroyed too, while some claim the water was completely sucked out of the San Antonio River. And the stories of that day keep coming, mostly through pictures passed along through the years.
There's one where it shows a lady and her, I guess, husband, and they're standing out in the field, and they're not very, they're dressed. It's Sunday. They're dressed in their best, and they're just looking. And, it's just...
Keep in mind, this was just 2 years removed from the Great Galveston Hurricane of 1900, which hit not too far from Goliad. The Texas coast had endured a rough stretch.
When you look at the pictures, are you surprised?
Yes, at the devastation. And the heartbreak.
Amazingly, the historical missions were untouched. Sadly, however, 114 people died, tying it as the deadliest tornado in Texas history. Another 250 were injured, proving tornadoes in Texas can strike anywhere. Justin Horn, KSAT12 News.
Let me tell you, it is fascinating to think about Texas's weather history. And here in San Antonio, what we've learned from experience is that droughts often end in floods. Keep that in mind as we head into next year and change up our weather pattern to an El Nino weather pattern. Now, in the pollen count, molds are low at 130. Here's the aquifer. I wanted to talk about this. The aquifer is at 626.2 feet above sea level. If the aquifer drops below September 2014's number by about 4/10 of a foot, it'll be the lowest it's been since June of 1990. So 33 years. So we'll be watching the aquifer carefully. There are some glimmers of hope for a slight weather pattern change midweek next week. I'll have those details coming up.
Welcome back.
We can't get anything. I mean, it's like we you don't want severe weather. You don't want any of that.
No, you
that
don't.
Nasty stuff. We can't get. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. We can't even get like a drop of rain.
At this point, you know what would be ideal for us? A disorganized, weak tropical system moving through south central Texas.
Fix that up.
Okay, I'll see what I can concoct. Actually, we do have some indications that midweek next week, there's a little bit of hope for a weather pattern change. But until then, it's going to be hot. It's going to be oppressively hot. And we're going to be watching the ERCOT power grid very carefully, because what I'm showing you here is the supply and demand at 7 p.m. Why at 7 p.m.? Because at 7 p.m. we start to lose solar energy, but demand is just as high because it's still just as hot at 7 p.m. The blue line is the supply here. The red bar is the demand, or the forecast supply and demand. You can see that tomorrow right at 7 p.m. and then also on Thursday at 7 p.m. We're going to be cutting it close when it comes to supply and demand, particularly at 7 p.m. So we will keep you posted, but ERCOT does not expect any interruption in service. So that's some good news there. As we look across parts of south central Texas, you'll notice in New Braunfels, winds are from the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Seguin, winds are from the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Generally, we got a north wind, pretty breezy at 10 miles per hour. That's bringing in drier air from the north. A very, very weak front moved through. It dropped the humidity, and you can actually see in Bernie, it feels cooler than what the thermometer actually reads because of the lower humidity. But it's still hot, all right? It's 96 rather in Uvalde, 98 in Del Rio, 96 in Gonzales, and 95 in New Braunfels. Zooming in here, you can see that there's some puffy cumulus clouds that developed out in northern Uvalde County. That's where we would see maybe an isolated shower pop up. So today, this afternoon, there's a 10% chance for a stray shower, mainly south of San Antonio, but don't bank on the rain. It's going to be hot, 103 for the high, about a degree shy of a record. You can see from about 5 p.m. till sunset, there's a measly 10% chance for a shower. Then tonight, not too bad. It's definitely going to be warm, but with low humidity and a bit of a breeze, it should feel okay for an evening walk if you want to do that. That's where I've shifted my time outdoors, is in the evening, because it's just been so hot. Here's the weather setup across the nation. This weak cool front, a part of a larger parent system that's bringing rain to the northeast, but the heat high still remains our dominant weather pattern and our dominant factor. As I show you tomorrow's forecast, keep in mind that once once again, fire danger will be high in the afternoon. We're going to start off at 75, 94 at noon. Not as bad in the morning tomorrow. 75 is not that bad. That's because we'll have drier air in place. 104 for the high, though, tomorrow. East-northeast winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that heat high is hot and dry. Anywhere you see this red color, that is a dry atmospheric moisture content. That's going to be our main weather pattern over the next several days. However, notice that by Sunday, there's a little bit of moisture across the coast. Now, that hot weather is going to be with us for the next several days. Don't expect a dip in temperatures. But with that little bit of tropical moisture out in the Gulf, there's some indications that we could get a tropical wave of some sort, bringing in that tropical moisture by the middle of next week. Chances are still very low, okay, but this is the first time we've seen a glimmer of hope in the forecasts in a while. So just buckle down for the pretty extreme heat over the next several days. We're going to be up to 107 on Thursday. All right, I'm going to take you back to the 90s. Gnarly, man, 107 on Thursday. It's pretty gnarly.
I wish I could go back to the 90s, like about 93, 92, somewhere in there.
Definitely be careful, especially with the kids that are going back to practicing outside for sports.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, maybe a little hard to do with all this heat, but it is National Relaxation Day. At least the bear found a way to relax. Nice suds bath. Must be nice. Coming up. We all need to stay cool in the summer. Even bears need to stay cool in the summer. And of course, they need to stay clean. So how about you kill two birds with one stone?
CNN's Jeannie Mose reports on how a happy accident turned a cool dip into a bubble bath.
You know the old nursery rhyme? Yeah, well, how about one black bear, a 450-pound black bear, delighting visitors at Zoo Knoxville in Tennessee? How did this 10-year-old named Finn become the bubble bath bear?
It was kind of a happy accident. The keeper staff were cleaning the pond with Dawn.
Dawn dishwashing liquid, the wildlife experts know.
It's tough on grease, yet gentle.
Dawn has been used for decades to clean creatures caught in oil spills. So when keepers finished cleaning the bear pond and the diluted Dawn created a sudsy bath, Finn the bear chose to frolic in it. Viewers were smitten, though one British bear conservation group tweeted, "Bet he loves the stinging suds up his nose and in his eyes, not turning a bear into a public freak show." But Zoo Knoxville says its vets clear all products, that there's no problem.
No more than your kids in a bathtub full of bubble bath.
It's the dawn of the Bear Bath Club, with members like Miss Tundra, the grizzly at the Denver Zoo, and minus the suds, this black bear splashing around at the Oregon Zoo. You can almost imagine Finn the bear saying, "Calgon, take me away!"
Indulge yourself in Calgon luxury.
Finn transformed himself from a black bear to a polar bear. Jeannie Mose, CNN. New York.
Some kids could take some advice from watching those bears and know that the bubble bath and it'd be fun. You turn the bath time into fun time, like the bear.
My daughter loves bubbles.
Well, there you go.
That's her thing.
Oh, it is all about bubbles,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Inside, outside, where you don't expect the bubbles.
Right.
Totally.
Sloan probably loves this, right?
Yes.
All right, well, we're talking school spirit today. The Jets and Diamonds varsity dance team are here. We are going to get a special performance from them later. Thank you, ladies.
And you see it right there on your screen. We want you to go ahead and share your back to school photos for that first day back at school, because we know kids are slowly kind of trickling in this week.
Yes.
So scan that QR code and send those
Put
cute
them
pictures.
on TV, yeah, record it, show them later. All right, and speaking of back to school, how about a unique twist on a teacher gift.
Yeah, absolutely. For less than the cost of a fast food combo, you can do a charcuterie cup just personalized for that favorite teacher this year.
Perfect way to get on the teacher's good side.
That's right. It's also restaurant week, so we're taking you to one San Antonio restaurant serving up some French cuisine. Oh my goodness, I hope you're hungry.
And a local kolache company's got their own twist on a kolache for the season. We'll tell you more when we come back.